student, this week will be known as a very remarkable judgment of the Supreme Court. In this week, Supreme Court has given a very important and impressive judgment related to the comprehensive sentencing policy. So in this video, I'm going to discuss about what is the need of comprehensive sentencing policy, and what was it, what was the background on that, and what can be the benefits if this kind of policy is introduced by the Parliament of India. So before going to start this judgment, I just want to give you a brief of this situation, that recently one of the trial court in the Bihar has announced a judgment in which the person was convicted to a particular punishment, but the decision was taken only in one day. So within one day the whole trial was completed, and after that, on the basis of quantum of punishment, that person was given capital punishment. The same judgment was referred in appeal by the accused in the High Court of Bihar, and the High Court also tried to know what the fact behind this, and finally the matter come to the Supreme Court of India. Supreme Court has made the confirmation that present time में whatever the judges are there, being a trial court, they are given the discretion to give the punishment. Sometimes the judges exercise this discretion, which seems to be very unequal, disparitably, and sometimes we feel that if a total approach is to be taken by the judges, then what would we can say that it is a fair justice and trial. So taking all these facts together, I'm just going to give you a brief of this judgment. So what was the judgment, what was the background, what was the need behind, I'm going to give you each and every points in this detail. So basically this title is need to introduce a comprehensive sentencing policy, which means that there should be a comprehensive, static, confirmed policy according to which the judges are to be guided by what kind of punishment they should give. It should not be only based on their whims and that kind of notion. So now just look at the Supreme Court judgment in this week 2024, and the name of judgment is Sunita Devi versus the State of Bihar and others 2024. Remember student, this is very remarkable judgment, so we need to know the judge's name also. That is Justice Honorable Justice M.M. Sundaresh and Justice S.V.N. Bhatti. So this is basically a two judges bench judgment which decided this judgment of Sunita Devi versus State of Bihar. Now come to the point, what was decided in this judgment. So as I told you already, the background of this judgment, that a trial court has convicted a particular accused in the offense of POCSO, and the whole judgment was decided within one day. So some people were applauding this, that what a beautiful this judgment is, that within one day the judgment is decided. But can we say that deciding a particular judgment and convicting an accused, we are not going to violate the right of fair justice of accused when he is not allowed to represent himself? So एक दिन में अगर आप जजमेंट डिसाइड करो, 2 दिन में जजमेंट डिसाइड करो, यू आर टेकिंग वेरी मिनिमम टाइम टू डिसाइड द मैटर एंड यू आर कन्विक्टिंग अ पर्टिकुलर पर्सन. इफ वी थिंक इन पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ द एक्यूज, वी फील लाइक कि उसके पास भी एक राइट है, दैट राइट टू फेयर रिप्रेजेंटेशन. व्हाई दिस एक्यूज वाज नॉट गिवन अ प्रॉपर टाइम टू एक्सप्लेन whether the offense was done or not. So the trial court has convicted him, and then this matter moved to the High Court. High Court, when examined this fact, it said that the trial court judges has done this work in a very hurried manner, and especially the trial court has violated the right of accused. Accused was not given the proper representation. So giving this remark, the High Court has given 1-2 remarks against the trial judge also. Taking all these facts together, the trial judge, the State of Bihar represented as an appeal in the Supreme Court, and the judges concerned, the trial court judge concerned was that High Court should not have given this kind of remark which may be used against him, because he exercised in a proper way, he provided the justice to the victim, and the High Court has taken the instance of the accused. Supreme Court, taking all these facts together, taking the consideration what the High Court decided, and taking the facts which were raised by the judge of the trial court as well as State of Bihar and the accused, the court mentioned that there are some flaws. Now we are going to understand what the flaws are related to the sentencing policy. So this was the background which I am letting you to know so that you can understand this sentencing policy. Now come to the point, or what are the important provisions which were taken into consideration in this judgment. So as a law student, we always know that there is one particular section, that is section 360 of CRPC, which deals with the quantum of punishment. Once the matter is decided and the accused is convicted to a particular offense, now the question comes whether the person should be given the punishment and what kind of punishment should be given. In deciding the quantum of punishment, the accused is given some time to explain, to give some reasons why he should be given the minimum punishment. So remember student, I am just giving you one example. Suppose if the judge is given the power to 1 year to 3 years punishment. So there is minimum punishment is 1 year and maximum punishment is 3 years. So now the question comes, if the accused is convicted already, the trial court is exercising its discretion, he may give just 1 year punishment or he may exercise his maximum discretion and may exercise this 3 years punishment. तो माइट बी पॉसिबल कि एक ट्रायल कोर्ट का जज किसी मैटर में किसी पर्सन को सेम ऑफेंस में, सेम नेचर ऑफ ऑफेंस में मिनिमम पनिशमेंट दे, दैट इज फॉर 1 year, while the other trial court judge in the same matter to the different accused is granting the punishment which is 3 years or 1 year. So there is a disparity of punishment in the same offense. तो एक ही ऑफेंस है, एक ही इंसिडेंट है, बट एक ट्रायल कोर्ट अपने डिस्कशन को एक्सरसाइज करके मिनिमम पनिशमेंट दे रहा है, जबकि सेम ऑफेंस पे दूसरा जज मैक्सिमम पनिशमेंट दे रहा है. देयर आर टू एक्यूज, one is given minimum, one is given maximum. So there is a disparity of punishment and it is a violation of the fundamental right, that is article number 14, which talks about equal treatment of every person. Now coming to this point, when I deal with section number 360 of CRPC, which especially deals with that the court is given the power to give the some kind of relaxation when giving the punishment. So there are some more sections I am referring with, that is 3 section number 3, section number 4 and section number 6 of the Profession of Offender Act. So these are the legal provisions which are taken into consideration by the judges when they are giving the punishment in related to the conviction of an offense. Taking these sections together, now come to the question कि when the judges are given the power to exercise these sections, and of course there is a discretionary power. So now I am letting you know, whenever any authority is given the discretionary power, as we remember as a constitutional law student, the IC always says that sometime when the discretion is given, the discretion may be discriminatory. So to avoid this kind of discrimination, one should exercise the discretion in a proper way with sound judicial principles. So that was same concern taken by the Supreme Court of India, and Supreme Court has held that when the judges are given the discretionary power in granting the amount of punishment, this discretionary power should be exercised in a proper way. Reason is that if it is not exercised in a proper way, then there is a lots of laws, and laws means to say human rights, fundamental rights and etc. Now coming to the existing policy of the punishment, where I already told you about section 360 and section number 346 of the Probation of Offender Act. Now why Supreme Court has examined the this kind of judgment and what were the flaws related to the existing sentencing policy, Supreme Court first of all remarked that this kind of approach is completely judge centric. As I told you already, there is 2 judges, one judge is giving just minimum punishment, other is giving maximum punishment. There is no such bar, there is no any kind of restriction and hurdles toward the judges. So this is completely a judge centric policy, and judge centric policy should not be allowed. At least कि हम victim के rights की बात कर रहे हैं, accused के rights की बात कर रहे हैं, तो हमें जज सेंट्रिक पॉलिसी को थोड़ा सा देखना पड़ेगा, that there should be some controlling measures. Now Supreme Court also took this consideration that this kind of existing policy, in case if it is not properly used, which has been had in the Bihar case of Sunita Rani, that is fundamental rights under Article 14, which talks about right to equal treatment to everybody, and second one, that is Article number 21 of the Constitution of India, which talks about right to life and personal liberty, and right to life and personal liberty also includes the right of the accused to a fair trial. We already covered it in Hussain Ara Khatun versus State of Bihar case, that every accused should be given the full opportunity to explain his stand. That is what we talk about fair justice, fair trial. Fair trial is not possible unless and until you are giving the opportunity to accused to represent his case. The same has happened in this instant. So there were two fundamental rights which are already very important, pious fundamental rights, which may be violated in case if the judges are not properly taking this policy into proper sound judicial purpose. Now, another important point that the Supreme Court has taken into consideration, that unwarranted disparity in sentencing would be against the very concept of the fair trial. So if we cannot say that it is a fair trial if we are giving the disparity of punishment irrespective of the sound principles. So as I have told you, these were the flaws. These are the flaws which the Supreme Court highlighted, and now there was a requisition. Then if there are this kind of flaws, why should not we use some new innovative approach? Now, Supreme Court also tried to examine, is there any country which is adopting this kind of comprehensive sentencing policy? Then these kind of facts came into notion by this judgment. So there is Canada, there is New Zealand, there is Israel, and there is UK. These are the countries which adopts the comprehensive sentencing policy when granting the punishment to the accused. So these are countries are fairly playing in this regard कि आप एक्यूज को एक प्रॉपर मौका दे रहे हो, चांस दे रहे हो एक्सप्लेन करने का, और जब भी आप पनिशमेंट दे रहे हो तो वो पनिशमेंट देने में आप इक्वल ट्रीटमेंट कर रहे हो, अनइक्वल ट्रीटमेंट नहीं कर रहे हो. यू आर फॉलोइंग दिस प्रॉपर स्ट्रॉन्ग अडॉप्टेड पॉलिसी इन दिस सेंटेंसिंग. तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इन स्टेट्स को भी कंसिडरेशन किया, एंड देन जो रिजल्ट सामने आया कि इन स्टेट्स में एक कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव पॉलिसी है और विच इज वेरी पॉजिटिव. It is not going to violate the right of victim or the right of accused or otherwise the jurisprudential concept. It is simply very beneficial. And also we have one more instance, that is in 2003. In India also, we cannot say that in India we don't have taken any steps toward this comprehensive policy. Of course, yes. In 2003, the Law Commission of India has recommended toward this comprehensive sentencing policy. But now this is 2024. Unfortunately, from 2003 to 2024, we are not able to formulate this proper formatting sentencing policy. So taking all these facts together, this is what the Supreme Court observed. The Supreme Court of India last week has directed the Parliament of India as well as state governments that why you are not going toward this comprehensive sentencing policy, and the Supreme Court also stick to the particular period of time. So the Supreme Court recommended the Union government कि आप assess करो कि क्या हमारी country में feasibility है कि हम भी ऐसे ही कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव सेंटेंसिंग पॉलिसी अडॉप्ट करें जैसे यूके, कनाडा एंड अदर कंट्रीज ने फॉलो किया है. इफ इट इज फिजिबल देन व्हाई शुड नॉट बी अडॉप्ट इट टू गिव द proper treatment to accused without giving any kind of unequal treatment. So this kind of assesses को अगर आप बोलोगे, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ये भी सजेस्ट किया है कि आप जूरिस्ट को रखिए, आप फिलोसोफर्स, आप लॉयर्स, लीगल फ्रेटर्निटी के लोगों को इन्वॉल्व करिए, मैक्स टू मैक्स लोगों का रिप्रेजेंटेशन करके विद इन 6 मंथ एक प्रॉपर असेसमेंट करके एक कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव सेंटेंसिंग पॉलिसी के बारे में हमें इन्फॉर्म करिए, रिपोर्ट करिए. इफ इट इज वर्किंग इन इंडियन पर्सपेक्टिव देन व्हाई वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू follow it. So this was all related to this comprehensive sentencing policy. As a law student, we need to just wait what happens in future. But of course, if we adopt this sentencing policy, it will surely do some kind of this thing कि आप depravity जो sentencing की है वो दूर होगी. तो आपकी एग्जामिनेशन पर्पज से ये जजमेंट बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है. अगर आप कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में पढ़ोगे तो भी इंपॉर्टेंट है, अगर आप क्रिमिनल लॉ के लिए पढ़ोगे देन टू यू नीड टू वर्क ऑन दैट कि कौन सा सुप्रीम कोर्ट का भी हाल ही में जजमेंट है जिसमें सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव सेंटेंसिंग पॉलिसी को रेफर किया. सो दिस वाज ऑल रिलेटिंग टू द कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव सेंटेंसिंग पॉलिसी. थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग दिस वीडियो.